today chapter 20, verse 1 through 10. Two verses. Then I saw an angel coming down from heaven, holding in his hand the key to bottomless pit and a great chain. And he seized the dragon, that ancient serpent who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years.
And threw him into pit and shut it, and sealed it over him, so that he might not deceive the nations any longer, until the 1,000 years were ended. After that he must be released for a little while. Then I saw thrones, and seated on them were those to whom the authority to judge was committed. Also I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for the testimony of Jesus and for the word of God, and those who had not worshipped the beast or its image, and had not received its mark on their forehead or their hands. They came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years.
The rest of the dead did not come to life until the 1,000 years were ended. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is the one who shares in the first resurrection. Over such the second death has no power, but they will be priests of God and of Christ, and they will reign with him for 1,000 years.
And when the 1,000 years are ended, Satan will be released from his prison, and will come out to deceive the nations that are at the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them for battle. Their number is like the sand of the sea.
And they marched up over the broad plain of the earth, and surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city. But fire came down from heaven and consumed them, and the evil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet were, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Amen. I just ask excuse to the members. I didn't complete writing script in English. Today, chapter 20, verse 1 through 10, is about destruction of dragon. Dragon means Satan. Devil, Satan. This is the final destiny of the Satan. So three part, we can see the three part, verse 1 through 3. This is about the Satan. He was thrown into the bottomless pit. And 4,000. And then verse 4 to 6. For this period, 4,000 years, the Christian church, they reign with Jesus Christ. And verse 7 to 10, this is about the complete destruction of Satan, lake of fire, second death. And in here, actually I studied about this 1,000 years. In theology, there are many theories about this 1,000 years. What is the meaning of 1,000 years? before Jesus Christ, before Jesus come, or after Jesus come, or this is only single. There are many theories about this 1,000 years. But I don't want you to share many argument and theory, but I can share this meaning of 1,000 years from this context. Okay, we don't have to focus on what is literal meaning of 1,000 years. This is not only literal meaning, but this is the spiritual meaning, and this is only has a key to understand in the context, in the age of the John. Okay. If we see the verse 1 to 5, verse 1 says, I saw an angel come down from heaven, holding in his hand a key to bottomless pit, a great chain. So the angel coming from heaven, he has a key, and this key is about bottomless key. And then verse 2 says, this angel, he arrested. He just took the dragon, the devil, Satan, and then he bound him for 1,000 years. And he threw him into the bottomless pit, and he just shut the door of this bottomless pit. And then 1,000 years, this dragon, Satan, was arrested in the bottomless pit. But later, until the 1,000 years were ended, this devil, Satan, he released for how many days? A little while. So we have a question, 1,000 years and a little while. This is like an analysis. Satan, he already defeated. When Jesus died on the cross, Satan already defeated. This is the 1,000 years. The meaning is when Jesus died on the cross, this Satan ultimately defeated, and he was arrested already. Do you know the meaning of the D-Day and the V-Day? D-Day and V-Day. D-Day and V-Day. D-Day 1, D-Day 2, we know this D-Day. D-Day and V, Victory Day. Okay. This is the meaning in the war. For example, the Japanese they reigned our Korea for many years. Then, when the USA and they already defeated this Japan, and then we Korean heard of the USA already conquered Japan in advance. We already heard they ultimately conquered this Japan, but not completely. And we Korean, we are waiting to complete the victory. So we know USA already conquered this Japan in the Incheon, and then the Japan, they already surrendered. But the other area, like Gyeonggi-do, Suwon, Seoul, There are some Japanese, they did not surrender yet, but in the Japan, this main area, the USA already conquered the center, the main center. Then we know, in radio we heard, the Japan already conquered, they defeated. And USA, they already have a victory and they will conquer one by one. 수원, 경기도, Seoul. But we Korean, we all know that from the radio. We are just waiting the day. This is the D-Day, D-Day. But when the USA conquer all areas, that's the final and complete victory. This is the D-Day, D-Day. According to the Genesis 3:15, this is the original gospel. The woman's baby will smash, conquer the Satan's offspring. And then the Satan just broke the heel of the woman's descendant. This is about Jesus and Satan. When Jesus died on the cross, Jesus already conquered the Satan, and Satan already defeated. His head already smashed it and crushed it. So this is the D-Day, D-Day. When Jesus died on the cross, he already conquered, and this is the ultimate victory. But Satan, his head is crushed, broken, but he's still just disturbing and tempting and deceiving the people. But his head already destroyed. So in verse 1 through 3, the angels already seized, Satan arrest this dragon, serpent, the devil, Satan. This is the meaning of D-Day, D-Day. He already arrested and he was thrown into the bottomless pit. But he still had the time to deceive the people of God and the church. Many people, they just focus on 1,000 years, but this is not literal meaning. This is the period the Satan was defeated already when Jesus came first. And then he was released. He must be released a little while. Satan, he already defeated, but later, just little while, he just want to deceive the people, the church, Christian. He is ready to fight again to the church and the God, but only little while, he was released. He was arrested in the bottomless pit, but this is like a temporary prison. And the Satan also waiting for ultimate and final complete his destruction, this final destiny. Some people, they think 1,000 years, the people of God, they can reign the whole world with Jesus Christ 1,000 years. Then the Satan, he just fight again, and then the Jesus also fight together. And 1,000 years, there's a literal, the meaning of literal, the period 1,000 years. Because they think this all, the chapter 20, chapter 19, is the order according to the time. When you interpret the Revelation, chapter 18, chapter 19, and chapter 20, this is like a real chronicle, the order. This is not chronicle order. This is not order of time. When you read the Bible, okay, in the history, 18 this chapter complete first, then chapter 19 the story will finish after 18. Then chapter 20 is the time and the story after 19 and 18 finish. This is very long misinterpretation because, for example, verse chapter 19 and chapter 20. Some people they interpret chapter 19, chapter 20. This is the time to time, and this is the order of the time. But when you see 18, 18 verse 3, verse 3, for all nations have drunk means all nations, they are destroyed, completely destroyed. But we back to the chapter 20. Verse 3. There's also all people, all nations, threw him into the pit and shut it and sealed it over him so that he might not deceive the nations. Verse 18 says, the all nation already destroyed. Verse 3 in chapter 20, the Satan, he might not deceive the nations. What does it mean? According to the time, if we just interpret these chapters 18, 19, 20, according to the time, there's some very misinterpretation and we cannot understand fully. The old nation destroyed already, but why the Satan? He wants to deceive the nations. So that's why this is the one of evidence. 18, 19, 20, even 13, 14, chapter 13, 14, 15. This is not chronicle order. But before we saw the Armageddon. This is the final fighting, the Satan's and the God's people. But today, we see the same fighting in the today's chapter, verse 7, 8. This is the same word. The Satan, he ready to fight. And then, this is the final, the fighting. And this is the Satan and Satan's people, they are ready to fight to the God and God's church. Because verse 9 says, and they marched over the broad plain of the earth and surrounded the camp of the saint. The camp of the saint means this is the expression of the temple of God. And tabernacle. And the beloved city, this is also the meaning of the temple of God. The city means Jerusalem, like Jerusalem. This is the place of temple of God. This is the symbol of all the people of God. So verse 7, 8, the Satan ready to fight, and the church also ready to fight. But this is also the meaning of Armageddon, final fight. So, this meaning of 1,000, this is not literal meaning, but this is the meaning. The Satan was defeated when Jesus came and died on the cross. This is the first defeat, and this is the ultimate the defeat, and this is the victory of the Jesus Christ and the church. We have a question. The Satan was defeated when Jesus came and died on the cross. But, Christian, we have many trials. And Satan still tempting and deceiving the people of God. They blind the people not to see Jesus Christ. But we know the Satan, he already defeated, and Satan cannot harm the people of God. Many Christians, they sometimes confuse, Satan, he's very horrible, and he has a power, and sometimes he can harm my life, he can destroy my life. And then they just waiting. Only in the end, we can conquer the Satan. Only in the end. Now, the Satan is still powerful, and we Christians, we also very afraid of the Satan. This is not biblical interpretation. Now, Satan already defeated, and this period of 1,000 years mean he already arrested, and which means he lost his power to conquer the God's people. Do you remember 1 John chapter 5, 18? 1 John chapter 5, verse 18. If you found you, would you read? 1 John 5, 18. 1 John is the New Testament before the Revelation. Before the Revelation, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, and Revelation. 1 John 5, 18.
Fear not everyone who has been born of God does not keep on sinning, but he who was born of God protects him, and the evil one does not touch him.
You remember when we studied 1 John? The devil what? He cannot touch, even cannot touch the God's people. So we Christians, we are just waiting. Only in the end we can win Satan. No. We know already he was defeated. Satan already defeated. And we win the Satan here. And we win again in the end. So we have the victory. In the end, we will see the final, ultimate, the victory. This is the real victory. But here on earth, while we are living on earth, we have a guarantee of our certain victory, sure victory. Because Jesus already conquered this Satan. His life was already arrested in the prison. Satan is arrested in the like a prison. He can deceive and he can tempt the people because he still have a power. He still have a power. The head is broken, but he still have a little power, just tempting, deceiving. But remember that he cannot even touch the God's people. So we have a guarantee, certain, final, ultimate, complete victory. So Satan already defeated through the first coming of Jesus Christ. When Jesus came and when Jesus died on the cross, he already defeated. But verse 7 to 10. Verse 7 to 10, this is the final, the destruction of Satan. Verse 7, when the 1,000 years are ended, the Satan will be released from his prison, and he will come out and to deceive the nations. So, in the end, he will be released. And then, he wants to fight and he wants to deceive the nations. But you see, verse 3 says, 1,000 years he was in the prison, but he released how many days? A little while. We must see this, the word, a little while. Satan, even though he wants to fight this final war, his final destiny is only destruction, and just he can just has the power to fight this final war a little while. And this 1,000 years, this 1,000 years is similar to the date of 42 months. Do you remember the 42 months? A time and half. But 3 years and half, 3.5 years. And 126 days. Do you remember the date of this? The same date, right? 42 months means 1,260 days. This is the 42 months. We learn this date is not also literal meaning. This is the time until Jesus comes. And in the Jewish people, they know this 42 months and 1,000 years is the similar date. The Jewish people, they use the two dates when they think about the last day. They are thinking two expressions, 42 months and 1,000 years. 1,000 years and 42 months. They use these two dates of about final last day. Why the Jewish people, Israel people, they using these two the dates? But same meaning, but different expression. So we can just apply to this context. You know, Christian, we saints, when we are in the trouble, when we are in the persecution, when we have very hardship on earth, we must remember this date is not like 1,000 years. This is like just a little while, like a polyphemus, not 1,000 years. But when we have a victory, our period is like 1,000 years. Because verse 4 to 6, you know, Satan, verse 1 through 3 says, Satan already defeated, but this 1,000 years, the Satan, he is only defeated and he was always in the bottomless pit, like a prison. But at the same time, the Christian, we also have the ministry and the business in the same period, 1,000 years. So what do we do in these 1,000 years? I told you already, this 1,000 years is not literal meaning. This is the date until Jesus comes. So until Jesus comes, with Christian, what do we do? Verse 4 says, the believers, some believers, they already died. They already died because of the Word of God and witnessing Jesus Christ. Okay. Then I saw throne and seated on them were those to whom the authority to judge was committed. Also I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded. Beheaded means died. They became martyrs. For what? For the testimony of Jesus and for the Word of God. So which means they died as a martyr. And those who had not worshipped the beast, they did not follow the idolatry. The beast, we know the meaning of beast, right? And or its image had not received its mark on their forehead and hands. Because of their faith, because they witnessed Jesus Christ, they died and they persecuted. Then they came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. Until Jesus comes, 1,000 years in this period, they came to life. They died. They died, what the Bible says. They came to life and reigned with Christ. What does it mean? They already died, but they came to life. They came to life. And then, verse 5 says, the last of the dead did not come to life until 1,000 years were ended. This is the first resurrection. What is the meaning of first resurrection? And verse 6, blessed, holy is the one who shared in first resurrection. Over such the second death has no power, but they will be priests of God and of Christ, and they will reign with him for 1,000 years. Okay, we know the destiny of Satan already defeated and ultimately, completely defeated in the end. But what about our destiny in Christian in this period? The Bible says we die. Some people die. Even Christian, we die. Unbeliever die, we die. Physically, we all die. Christian, unchristian, non-Christian, we all die. Our body die. But after we die, the Christian, unchristian, we encounter different different destiny. We die, but the Bible says they came to life. They came to life. They died, but they didn't die. But they go to paradise. And then, unbeliever, they go to hell. And then, there's a second death. Christian, some people, they die and they go to heaven. And some unbeliever, they go to hell. And then, there's a second stage of our final destiny. Christian, we just die one time. We die only one time. But when Jesus come again, at the time we also resurrected again. And we just join our forever kingdom. But what about unbelievers? They go to second death. So verse 6 says, blessed and holy is the one who shared in the first resurrection. Over such a second death has no power. You Christian, you and I, through the Jesus Christ, we die, but we do not die because we have our eternal life. Even though we die physically, this is not real death. Only our body is dying. But when you believe in Jesus Christ, from that time you have no death. Essentially, we have no death. Even though our bodies die, this is not essential death because we have our eternal life. Why? Jesus said, whoever believes in me. Okay, we see the John's Gospel. John's Gospel chapter, we see the two chapters. John's Gospel 5:24. John 5:24. Okay, let's read together. Truly, I say to you, whoever hears my word and believes in him who sent me has eternal life. He does not come into judgment, but has passed from death to life. And verse 11, 25 to 26. Chapter 11. Good point. 25, 26. Okay, would you read?
Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this?
The Bible says, we die? Yeah, we die. But we never die. Because we have eternal life. We already transferred from death to the life when we believe in Jesus Christ. So, my brothers and sisters, today we see the destiny of the dragon Satan. His final destiny is defeat, and final defeat, and final destruction. Complete destruction. But what about our destiny? We Christian, we already win. We already won the Satan. Why? Because Jesus won already. So this victory is our victory, and we have a guarantee of the victory to the Satan. Not only in the end, we already have victory. And Satan cannot harm Christian, the church. He can deceive and he tempt, but he cannot win, and he will not win finally. So our destiny does not belong to the Satan. Our destiny, our life, do not belong to Satan. Our life, even life of Satan, belong to hand of God. Our life and Satan, our whole destiny, just to belong to the God's hand. Satan also belongs to God's sovereignty, and our life also belongs to God's sovereignty. But our destiny, our life, has already victory, and eternal life. We die, but we do not die, essentially. So we live, and we live forever. The Satan defeated already, and he will be defeated completely in the end. And then we also have to understand our destiny. We also have a first death, but this is not essential death. Christian, non-Christian, we all die on earth. But we Christian, we have no second death. We have no second death. Second death means we have no judgment. We have no judgment. But we will be resurrected. We have resurrection 2 times. First resurrection is we go to heaven. And then when Jesus comes again, we also experience second resurrection. But this is just going to forever kingdom. But unbelievers, they die. And they die again. This is the second death. They have 2 kinds of death. First death and second death. Lake of fire. But we Christian, we resurrect. We go to heaven and we resurrect again. This is going to forever kingdom. So my brothers and sisters, we have a confidence about our victory here and lastly. So we have many trials. We must imagine the age of this John. When John writing this revelation, many Christians and the church, they are under the persecution because they testify Jesus Christ and they share the gospel. That's why they arrest John. He also exiled into the island of Patmos. And many Christians, maybe they are very disappointed. And they think Roman Empire has the big power, very great city. But the John, he just been writing this letter for the Christian in the church. We do not just go to destruction, and we will not defeat it. But we are already have victory, and we will not destroy it by Satan, but we live here, and we have our eternal life, and we die, but we never die. We live forever with Jesus Christ, and we will live again in the forever kingdom. Let's pray. Father, thank you for instruction about 1,000 years and the final destiny of the Satan and our destiny. Even though the Satan is defeated, he's still deceiving and he wants to tempt the God's people and the church. But now we just look at real situation of Satan. His head is already broken. He cannot harm and even touch the God's people. He's like a horrible the monster on the paper. He looks very horrible, but he's like the picture on the paper, and he has no power to harm the God's church and the people. We are just waiting the real victory day. We are just waiting in the D-Day, but this is already showing our certain the victory. But because we are living on D-Day, 1,000 years, we encounter many the people, Christian church, they have many hardship and trials. But this is not the meaning. We belong to Satan, and we have many tribulation by Satan, but this is only the period. We are just waiting the wedding party, the Lamb of Lamb, Jesus Christ. He will come to us and He will welcome us and He will bring us to the forever kingdom, the heavenly church, the complete the kingdom of God. And we will reign with Jesus Christ in the forever kingdom. And we are already seated in the heavenly place when we believe in Jesus Christ. Our body is here, but our soul is already seated in the heavenly place. We're just living in the two worlds. God's kingdom, and there's the kingdom of Satan. Lord, our life just belong to your palm of hand, and Satan also in your hands. And because we are in your palm of hand, we are so secure here, and we will be safe forever, now and forever. And Satan is defeated already here, now, and he will be defeated finally, completely, forever. And you increase, especially the people of God who are in the trouble and suffering and pain. They can believe there are a glorious, the final victory in Jesus Christ. Not only in the end, but here. Because we are united with Jesus Christ. We are united with the victory of Jesus Christ. And you bless who read and listen to this message of Revelation, and who will practice the victory of Jesus Christ in their life. They are so blessed people, and they will be the pure, the bride of our glorious groom, Jesus Christ. And then we will join forever celebration party of our supper when Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name I pray.